This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we tell you how to suck the enjoyment out of training. I go to IKEA and we play the best new game. And in 3, 2, 1, parking fine success.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
I had a feeling we'd be talking about this, Tom. I did have a slight feeling this would be the case. And I am extremely excited to hear all about it.
Not really.
Oh no, mate, we're not going to do any of the little chat we do beforehand. No. This now is going to be, everyone is hanging on with bated breath about this.
That's me shooting guns because I'm like pew, pew, doing whatever. Yeah, well, if anybody tuned in last week, which I also forgot to put it up, so if you're listening to this is actually come out on Friday, even though the pod actually come out on the Monday, I think, because I was like, I had a sudden like thing when I was doing my like Sunday night like checklist of like everything's done for work, blah blah blah, missed anything stupid, and I was like, fuck, I haven't put the pod up. Anyway, you would have known. Doesn't matter. In the world of the pod, didn't have a clue. Just like Chatbix, they're over a month behind, and it ruined my life when I realised that. I thought they were only about a week, but I was like, what? Why did they talk? Anyway, if you knew that I was having an ongoing quarrel with, was that in last week's podcast or the week before? Because they did take their sweet ass time.
I think it was last week. I'm pretty sure.
Was it last week? So it would have been, because I don't know. It was when I came back from Paris, so
yeah,
that would have been, yeah. Anybody's lived on the street, I got 3 parking tickets and one of them was I was switching zones in Westminster. Okay, so I was moving from zone C to zone F within the same parking bit zone, blah blah, whatever. And if you're a nerd, you can work out where I live from that. And one would think that, so when you move into the parking place, you get a temporary permit to move in, so you can get all your documents in order, blah 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 blah. I was allowed this when I moved in. I was allowed this when I bought a second car. Obviously sold the first one, so I only have one car again. But for the limited time I had 2, but it's fine. Got the temporary thing. But apparently when moving within the same fucking council, they don't allow you that. So I had to go to and fro in like whilst it was going through. So, but they don't tell you when it's going to go through. There's no, and literally the email, the message they sent was awful. Like anyway, and then I was fuming. Dan knew I was absolutely fuming. When I got from Paris, I had 3 parking tickets on my my windscreen, but one of them was 1 minute after being in my application was valid in my new zone, because obviously I was told to park in my old zone, but 1 minute after they switched it, I got a ticket. 1 minute from a literal person as well. That's insane. And then again, the next ticket was there less than 24 hours from when I got my new zone. And then another ticket was there 3 days afterwards. I paid that one because that was like, fine, I probably would have checked that. And I was away. Unfortunately, I was in a different country, so probably couldn't move the car. So I was fuming on those other 2. I was like, this is just, and like we said, like it just felt like they were out to get you and like make money. So I made a big old list of things that were uncourteous, basically. This is one thing that ChatGPT is pretty good at, basically. So I was like, write me a PCN challenge explanation that includes the following points as a challenge, bullet point the list of the following. I was like, what, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. There was 4 things that I was like, or 5, I think, that were like, what the hell? And it was like, Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to formally challenge the issuance of the PCN issued on this date in Zone C. I would like to bring the following to your attention. Number 1, the timing of the PCN. The PCN was issued at 11:33, which is less than 1 minute after my permit Parking permit was approved at 11:32. This suggests that enforcement officers were monitoring the vehicle in real time and issued a ticket immediately after approval, which is unreasonable and does not allow any grace period or acknowledgement of the newly updated permit status. That was my number one. Number two, previous resident permit holder. I've been a fully paid up resident parking permit holder in Zone C for over 3 years. Upon moving within Westminster, I understood that I am issued a 6 week temporary permit to cover the transition period. This was not provided, and it had been issued as expected. The PCN would not have been necessary. Number three, lack of notification. I did not receive any confirmation or notification via email that my permit had been approved. The only correspondence I received was that my application was under review. Without a formal notification, I had no way of knowing my application had been processed or approved. Number four, continued payment and good faith. I've continued to pay for parking at my new property intermittently, even without the permit, and have done so in good faith, attempting to comply fully with the rules as a responsible resident and citizen of Westminster. In light of the above, I request respectfully that the PCN be reviewed and cancelled. I believe it was issued unfairly and given immediate time and post approval, and administrative oversight regarding temporary permit and lack of communication. Thank you for your attention to the matter. I look forward to understanding a positive resolution. And today, Dan, they sent me 3 emails saying, oh, they were so fucking dickish. They were like, oh, we're doing you a favor. This isn't what's meant to happen. This is what should have happened. You have I know, a responsibility. This is your responsibility, not ours, to look after you. Blah 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 blah. But we have decided upon our goodwill to cancel these fines. Um,
You're damn right. You're damn right you are. That's what I'd say.
Fucking hell, yeah. I was like,
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. You know, when you're like, I was like, I saw the thing, but I knew it had been a long time as well. I was like, that's a good like week and a half. And obviously they're meant to respond within like, I don't know,
Mm.
10 days. And I was like, it hasn't responded for a while. Then I got boom, 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 all within about 2 minutes of each other. So, with the very cut and pasted thing. I was like, thank fuck for that. Because like free perp, like I paid the last one. I feel like my camera's
It's
dropping.
just poor, like you said. It's just this. It's just that again, like we've had this discussion, I think, previously on the podcast, and it's like the government are there to make everyone's lives easier, and it just seems that all they do is they're out to just try and line their own pockets and
I
make
was
lives.
like, taxpaying citizen, done everything correctly. What the hell? They can see my account is like good. I was like, are you
Yeah,
absolutely joking? And slap me with 3 fines when I'm moving like down the road, literally. I'm like, are you
yeah,
mad? Are you mad? Just that, like 1 minute. That was the one that really annoyed me. 1 minute of it being approved. And it was just like, what? What is that about?
piss
Like,
take.
it's insane. Even like, surely like the parking guy can see that maybe. Like, I don't know. Maybe he can't. I don't know. Or maybe he can look where it's meant to be a resident. Maybe he can't see what day it's issued or whatever. So
I think they care,
um,
mate. They
no.
only do it for themselves. I
Well,
just don't
they're
think it's
meant they have a quota of how many they're meant to get, right? So
yeah,
that's what they'll be looking for. So it's like policemen have like a certain amount of arrests they're meant to do each year, right? So
no idea. No idea. It wouldn't surprise me the amount of
I'm pretty sure
stuff they
that's
go
correct.
after. We can't
Uh,
actually catch real murderers and real issues, but we'll go around locking up someone that posted something on Facebook. Yeah, brilliant. Well done. The world's gone
anyway,
mad. It's just gone mad, mate. Like
anyway,
that.
that
It's like
was
the
fun.
parking fines thing is just like for me. It's like I get it. People can't just park anywhere wherever they want, but again, like you got resident permit. You're trying to get a resident permit. It's like I'm not doing this to piss take me. I'm not doing this to try and get close to my workplace. Like I literally, I'm living here. I've
No, I've
applied.
literally
I'm
followed
going
the
through the
orders
process.
to
Yeah.
like leave it at my old flat and like until I can move it. And I've been spending money. Like I must have spent about 100 quid on fucking just getting an like bike, like line bike back and forwards, and then paying random parking tickets or parking here,
Yeah. I
just
couldn't
so it'd
deal
be
with
all
that.
right. Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Anyway, yeah. Other than that, you all right?
Yeah, can't complain, mate. It's starting to get red out here, obviously, as we've discussed.
We
And
you discussed it last week, didn't you? You're like, "Oh,
yeah, it's affecting golf now. Just like literally not even looking forward to playing golf. It's that hot. So that's tells you how hot it is.
wow."
That should tell you something. So yeah, it's
I think
all fun again.
that's either Dan is the angriest he's been pre-show for a while, and I've learnt why because he's decided to not eat like a little bitch, like a
Yeah,
child. I'm
I'm
assuming.
starting to eat. I'm trying to eat less chocolate and less takeaways, so it's making things a
I
little more
think it
difficult.
must be tough as well because yeah, Dubai doesn't lend itself to being active normally, so it's even less calories than what would be normal for dieting, I guess. But
Literally.
yeah, and without golf as well. I know you cart it round, but even with in a cart, you're doing probably like 10, 12,000 steps. So
Yeah, you do
yeah,
something at least, with that.
yeah,
So yeah, it's a bit annoying, but yeah, no. Other than that, all good. Can't like I say, can't complain really. Just cracking on. Like I said, mate, just booked my flights back for your wedding, so everything's all sorted for trips back and whatnot. So that's all good.
that's good, isn't
All
it?
good with that. Yeah. So yeah, mate. Other than that, it's just what have I done? I booked. Oh, we booked a weekend in one of the hotels here for the weekend in between when we're back in the UK. It's like a little bit of a nice little break here. But yeah, no. Other than that, can't complain, mate. Works good. Everyone's good. Everything's going well. I think Mike's going to have a bit of a rant this later on this evening. Again, people will have probably seen it by the time they listen to this, if they follow him, because he texts me some stuff over and is like, "Happy for me to talk about this?" And I was like, "Yep." He always know when he's looking for my approval that there's something
It's going to be a bit
he
close to
wants to
the
rant about. So that'll be fun.
line.
Yeah, that's that, mate. There's nothing else really going on. To be honest, it's
No,
all hunky dory and tickety boo. Um, I would suggest.
you would suggest. Well,
For
I
now,
had.
until something shit happens. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I had the pleasure of going to IKEA twice over the last week.
Twice.
I
That is
know
something.
the luxury of I went on a Wednesday afternoon. Didn't realize it was like midterm, sorry, half term. So there's
Yeah,
more kids there than I realized. I took
that's not
Chloe,
fun.
and we it was just to get some bits and bobs and stuff.
Mm.
Just stuff that like we kind of needed ASAP and just couldn't bother to wait for. So it's just like, all right, that's gonna be quick and get done. They're fairly
Yeah.
fine. Like I've had IKEA bit furniture and like it's absolutely fine. Um, and I think did you have like was one of Isabel's beds an IKEA like day bed, or is that am I going crazy?
No, yeah, we did have one in the spare room.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, because I think we're gonna put that in the spare room because I just think we might use this room, especially because I'm using it. It's like half office, half spare room. Like
Yeah.
95% of the time is my office. So,
Yeah.
but just slightly annoying. Got a nice mattress. But it'd be a little bit better because yeah, we'll stick like a big TV in here and stuff. Have a cinema
Yeah.
room. Um,
Cinema room. That's nice.
I wish.
That's really nice.
What else? Yeah. So, but it was Chloe's first time having the food. Do you
The
like the food
IKEA
in
food. That's
IKEA?
the only reason to go to IKEA.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was
Swedish
like, it's,
meatballs, the gravy.
yeah. There's like three things you can have basically. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's just meatballs, like fish and chips apparently. I was like, why is
As
anybody
well.
having that there? Like apparently it looked all right, but yeah, just the meatballs with the gravy with some lingonberries, which was
Yeah.
great. Having that with either mashed potato or some fries, and then peas. Peas can fuck off.
Yeah.
And then a little dessert, which was actually really good. Like,
The dying cheesecake.
yeah, that's what
So
we
good.
had. So good.
So
Chloe,
good.
I was like, oh, it's time. And she was like, what's that? It's like, you've
No.
100% had it before. You must have.
It really is a clashing of cultures with you two, isn't it? It really
Literally.
is. Like, oh my God, dime cheesecake. How the hell can you not have tried that before?
Why? I was like, that's insane. And then obviously up after the fact, because she was like, oh, there's no hot dogs. I was like, that's at the end. Don't worry. That's
Always
after
at the
we've
end.
had that whole track because we had
Correct.
to quickly get out the fucking marketplace bit where you have to walk to get to your stuff to go find. Because
Yeah.
Chloe's just picking out, oh, should we get that bowl? Actually, we could do use with
Oh,
that. Could
no,
we use
no.
that actually? And I'm like, oh, that's cheap. I'm like, we need to get out of this bit
Quick.
because what are we doing here? It's like we bought these like things that like clip onto a shelf and they make a shelf underneath the shelf. Like our kitchen
Not
has too
needed.
many things. We've got a whole unit without anything in. I've just put like Weetabix in there just for it to have something in. And I'm like, why do we need this shelf to make the other shelves bigger or like more shelves? She was like, oh, it'd be handy. It's like
Mm.
obsessed. Why are women obsessed with storage? Just
Oh,
love
mate,
it.
don't get me
Love storage,
started.
no? They
Don't
love
get me
storage.
started, mate. Yeah,
It's,
I don't understand the female mind. I think it's
I
best
bet
to
I
go.
bet Laura's fuming that you have your coffee machine out all the time, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's always trying to make more space from something.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Always.
like
But
it's
what? You
like
don't cook anything. What do you want space for?
because
Just looks messy. Okay.
I'm because I'm gonna put one up like in the kitchen and like I was like I don't know whether
Yeah.
to put it on the island or put it like next to the oven bit. I'm like it needs to be accessible, doesn't it? Like it's the
Yeah.
thing.
It's a
And
mainstay of the kitchen. Like it's a main thing of the kitchen.
I haven't brought the air fryer is currently in the cupboard. Like that hasn't been let itself out. That can't stay on
Oh dear.
the top either as well. I was
They're
like,
not allowed
there's
out.
so much space. We got more
Oh,
space than we've ever had before, and yeah, absolutely insane.
not allowed.
I'm
You,
gonna
mate,
get
you can have the space, but you're not allowed to use it.
oh yeah, I'm getting rid of the Nespresso machine though. That's gonna find its way into the bin. So
Yeah, get rid of
which is
that.
good. Bin that
Get rid of
off.
that shit. You got a
Absolute
coffee machine
morons.
now, proper coffee machine.
Correct.
But
Well,
yeah,
I
IKEA's a funny place though, I feel like there's stuff there that they make you feel like you need it, but yet no one has ever gone through and gone, oh my God, I'm so glad I bought this IKEA thing. It's like, no, it just you end up using it once or twice and going, oh, that was a load of shit. Yeah, I just feel like it's a place where you feel compelled to buy things even though you don't need them.
yeah, pretty much.
It's a really odd experience. I just don't know what it is about the place that makes you want to buy everything that's there.
But it helped me give me something to do whilst I was meant to be watching the Champions League final. Because in the second half, I was just bored out of my mind because it was so one-sided. I ended up
Yeah.
making two breakfast bar stools, so that was
Well,
fun.
that's always good, isn't it, Tom? Yeah, that's handy. But the most important question as well, Tom, is did you get batteries while you were there?
Did I get batteries?
Yeah, IKEA batteries were always the one. My mum used to always get mad for the IKEA batteries. She used to like get
I've never heard that ever.
like 4 packs of the IKEA batteries because they were cheap. AA batteries. Yellow. They're always yellow.
Is
There
the
you go.
stuff like there's not a lot of stuff that like runs on batteries now, is there? They
No,
obviously
that
run on
was probably back in
batteries,
the
but
day,
it's
to be fair.
like
Yeah, maybe that was back in the day a little bit more. But yeah, she used to just go mad for it.
that's so
Used to go
funny.
mad for it. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never heard that. I'm mad for it. Just imagine.
Yellow.
Whoa!
Yeah, you pick up like 4 packs of these batteries and just put them in the bag every time.
Really?
It's together,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. No, I don't. I've never been to IKEA with my parents. So.
Ah, I wonder why then. Yeah, they always
There
get
wasn't really
parents
one
go for
near
the weird
Essex.
shit.
So
You go
it's
for the
like.
weird shit, you see parents with it in IKEA.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
fuming because I had to go back for a click and collect on the Saturday morning, and then but I went like 9 a.m. The food bit wasn't open. Absolutely fuming.
Mm.
I was like, I thought they'd just be open for like cinnamon buns or something like that, like nice little
Yes.
cinnamon bun and a coffee. Coffee's terrible, but I would have had it. Like it'd be a quid or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I was absolutely fuming. I'd banked on
Missed
that.
out then. That's
I
annoying, isn't
hadn't
it?
had breakfast because I thought that was going to happen. I had to go stop at some fucking Tesco.
Oh,
Very
how
annoying.
frustrating.
I know. Anyway, we should vaguely talk about probably fitness at some point. I haven't even put a timer on. I normally put a timer on watch to how much we jibber jabber for, but um, we'll talk about a little bit because this resonated with one of my clients actually recent sign up, and then another lad today. Um, Something off the back of what we said. What? We said on a podcast,
That's like influence.
and it was like, and they were like, it fucking resonated with me so much. I was like, that's why we do this show.
Yeah.
Oh, show. Bit of a stretch calling it a show, isn't it?
About to say, yeah, show.
I've done that one. I'm trying to look at. I can't read my own handwriting sometimes when I was writing
That's
down
always a
the
good sign, mate.
notes.
I mean, my
It's always
handwriting is
good.
bad, but at least I know what it says. Other people don't, but at least I
Oh, all
do.
right. I went to the National League final as well on Sunday. That was fun.
Oh, painful. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I didn't want to bring it up, but you brought it up now, so I'm going to go in on it. But
It
yeah, you
was
lot of shit.
painful.
You lot of
Oi, how
shit.
dare you?
You lot of shit, man.
Well, we need to change the rules of the National League for free up, free down
I
because
beg to differ.
no. Well, it wouldn't changed us in any way because we finished seventh. But York, yeah. So we got to the final of it and we almost won it. We lost in extra time. We were leading in extra time as well, but lost in extra time. Um, But York, who finished second, lost in the playoff round before us. They didn't even get to the final, but they were 24 points ahead of us in over the season. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
That
It's
is
a
a
lot of
lot.
it's a lot of points. Really. Like what was that, 8 wins? Is that about that? Yeah. That's exactly that, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
That'd be
They should be going up
so.
and this
That'd
absolutely
be. So,
fuming, wouldn't they? Like if we had gone up with like 68 points and they didn't go up with like no 80, it's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? Like
where did
yeah.
Oldham finish?
Oldham finished fifth, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
So not great again. They were only just above us, like only 5, 6 points above us. So but you just ran with the form, right? So all of our games went to extra time. So it was dramatic, but we lost to an absolute disgustingly shit goal. You know, one of those ones where he's running down the wing and then he cuts back running down the right wing, cuts back on his left, goes to cross it with his left foot, just like so it's kind of curling in towards the
Everyone misses
goal,
it.
and then defender missed it, and it just went straight in the net, like in the far post, like bouncing as well. I was
Proper
like,
National League
proper fucking.
football.
Oh yeah, it was not a good game. I took my mates. You'll meet them all on the stag, like Anit, Nathan, and Tom, and yeah, they were like, "This is terrible. This is such bad football." But Wembley was like alive and kicking. It was really good. Like the atmosphere was buzzing, even though we had the restrictions. We It was still a National League record of like 53,000 people. Southend
Mm.
ended up taking like 28, 29,000. We would have taken about 35 apparently, if it weren't for TFL
Restrictions.
deciding to just close the station. It's fine. Yeah, why would you not do that? No, absolutely fine because
Mm.
they weren't anticipating so many tickets being sold. Morons. No.
Well, they should have, shouldn't
Anyway,
they, Tom?
probably should have. Probably should have. Yeah, which was fun. But on my over the weekend as well, I had a golf day, which was good. So
Been very busy, haven't you?
which was a bit very busy bee. As soon as Chloe was away, boof. I had a very kind of dad weekend, as it were. Like it was a morning, go to IKEA, go to the tip, go play golf, come back, build the IKEA, and then go to a football match. Oh, then I went to Lido and swam, and then went to a football match. Very busy weekend, busy bee. But yeah, the golf game. So we're going to talk about something that resonated with like a couple of clients of mine and listeners and stuff. But we'll talk about the golf game as well because this kind of it did annoy me a little bit, and I'd like to know your thoughts on this about people talk like so the people that were in this golf thing. There's 12 of us, all really cool. There was a couple of like surgeons, anaesthetists, like kind of orthopedic stuff, and then there was a bunch of physiotherapists, and then a bunch of like idiots like me, like S&C coaches and personal trainers, all kind of in the same like health fields. We all know each other because we
Yeah.
all generally around like Harley Street, and we refer each other, blah blah blah. So it's like a networking slash kind of social
Mhm.
event. But there was one lad, right, who would not like stop name dropping. I'm working with this person. I'm doing this. Oh, we're really thinking about this in our business and doing this and blah blah blah. And we were just like, we're here to play golf and like have fun. It's a team event, and like that's all I really want to talk about. Don't really want to talk about work and how much work you're doing and what you're being successful at. I don't think he was doing that successful considering the car he pulled up in, but it was like it was just very odd, and I was just like, it really kind of cemented in my eyes that in like those where it's like an event and like a game and we've been planning it for like a couple of months like to like I don't want to talk about work whatsoever. I just want to talk about like how's their life, like if I've not met them before, if they've
Mm.
got kids, a family, all the stuff that was more personal, and they just came across as such like a one transactional and two kind of like just wooden and like boasty.
Mm.
And I think it was just an interesting thing that perhaps that I'm sure you might talk about, and probably people who don't do well on like calls or check-ins or stuff like that, they end up talking about themselves more than you kind of let them into their life, like stuff like I've just said there. Like we went to IKEA and that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like people are far more
Mm.
interested in rather than, Dan, I've just signed 6 million clients and they're all millionaires. You'd be like, fucking great, prick. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny because there's that meme, isn't there? I've seen quite a few memes on Instagram of like husband and wife. You know, the husband comes back from golf and the wife goes, "Oh, how's his wife?" And he goes, "Don't know. How are their kids? How are they getting on at school? Don't know. Like, what did you talk about? Golf." Like, it's that thing of like women would talk about all these things and go into it, and like, yeah, it's just quite funny. Um, yeah, we just I'm with you by the way on the golf thing. Like, it would put me off. I'd be like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, the amount of times me and Alex have been playing, and
Literally.
someone's there going, oh, so what do you guys do? And oh, I do this, and oh, we do that, and oh, we've noticed it. And I'm like, okay, great, but you just missed that fucking putt. So why don't you shut up and
Yeah.
talk about that? Like, whatever. Um, yeah, and I just think for me, I always feel that when someone's like that, I always just feel like they are usually covering up for loads of other problems or things that are going on, within what they do. Because I think as most of the people that we come into contact with, and I include coaches within this, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, is that their work is the most boring bit about them. And I try and encourage all the clients I work with as well, even within your content, to realize that fitness is the most boring thing about you. Like your job, coaching is the most boring thing about you. Let's get that straight. And they go, oh, but it's all I do. And I'm like, well, you need to figure out some of the shit to talk about them because no one gives a fuck about purely your fitness or purely your work. Like you found with this guy, right? Is you go, I wouldn't want to play golf with you ever again.
Yeah, literally.
Not in a million years would I ever want to do anything with you ever again, based on this one interaction of you just talking about yourself and work. So then you come back to it and go, same with social media, right? And all that sort of stuff. Is like people just do the equivalent of that. They just talk about fitness, fat loss, muscle gain forever, and then wonder why no one really wants to sign up or not, why no one really wants to kind of take an interest in them. It's like, well, because that's boring and no one really cares about it. And like you just said there about like you just seem really one dimensional, and you go, you, what are you here for, mate? Because we're here to have a laugh and have a drink and make
Literally.
fun of missed shots and just piss around, right? Because that's what shows you someone's character, the way they are, the type of person they might be, whether you want to go into business with them, whether you want to work with them at some point. But you don't need to be talking business. Like you're not going to impress me by name dropping people, mate. That doesn't impress me. That really doesn't impress me. Yeah, I just think it's I mean, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Tom, to be fair. With that, it just doesn't and especially if as well, like the worst thing that you can do in that situation as well, though, I don't know if this happened to you, but is have two of them who try to up each other all the time, one up each other all the time. Oh my fucking god, then you're just like,
Fortunately
oh my
not,
god.
no.
Fuck me. Like that's when it's really bad, isn't it? But you've
Yeah.
been on nights out when you've seen it, or you've been to networking events and you see people trying out, and you're just like, "Oh, give over, lads!
Just
You've
like
got tiny
story.
penises. Well done, well
Yeah. Just
done.
like
Like, yes, well done." Yeah, it's just
absolute story toppers. And you're like, fuck off.
literally.
Yeah, and the awkward thing of golf, not awkward thing. I guess that you can be like, oh, I'm gonna go play my ball over there. We were in
Yeah,
scramble, so you can't like do that. But he was in a different team, but it was just like in my small interaction. And then one of the physios, like I was chatting to today, who I play golf with, he was like, this guy would not fucking. I was like, he did the same thing for me on the fucking putting green, the chipping green, and when we were sitting down having a fucking bacon roll. I'm like,
yeah,
in
no, I
those
couldn't do it.
interactions, I was like, nah, I'm so glad I'm not with you. Like, Jesus Christ. And I would pair with a guy that didn't really speak that much, but he was fine, but didn't really. Probably, I think he was just very much like absolute traditional S&C coach, who didn't was just a bit closed off and yeah, didn't interact very well. Bit like yeah, I'm not like super extroverted, but if you're in a team of three, I'm going to be pretty chill, like, and making everything tick as well. Also, annoyingly, as much as it's hard to believe for you, Dan, I was the low handicapper on that team, so I had to help and
Fuck
be
me, how
like,
high were the rest of them? Jesus Christ.
I'm still a respectable 6.8, even though I play like
Oh, okay,
every other
6.8.
month. Uh, um, Mad what fucking happened though. Like I shoot a 77, 78, and then I shoot 89. It's like it's great. Thanks, mate. Good. Thanks, golf. It was real good.
Yeah, I
But
think 6.8, or I think anywhere between, I include myself in this, anywhere in this single digit. you could play lights out, but you can also go close to 90 and think, well,
Yeah,
I feel like you can't even play golf.
literally.
Like
Yeah.
it's still that big swing, isn't it, of everything that you just feel
It's
like, oh my
just
God.
annoying. I know it's down to like fucking I don't play enough and I don't practice that much at all.
Yeah.
So
Well, we need to fix that,
yeah.
Tom. We need to fix that, don't we?
Yeah, it's fine.
Especially before October, mate. We got a week of golf to play when just before your wedding,
I
mate.
know. I've started tapping up, so we should be good with a round with David. We should be good for a round with Keith, and we should be good for a round with Gav. So they're all members of different clubs around Surrey.
Lovely
So
work. What's that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
literally, and then
Literally.
we've got a golf day on Thursday anyway.
Love it.
So and then it'll be yeah, bosh.
Love
We'll be
it.
like, I'm so tired.
That's the golf.
You got a
That's the
wedding
golf holiday
now.
I'm going for. I'm not going to lie to you, Tom. I'm a little bit less bothered about the wedding now. I'm more bothered about the golf.
So
Yeah,
yeah, we
no.
should be good to play like Hindhead, I reckon, probably Denham, and then something else, I think. So maybe like
Nice.
Brocket or Centurion or something. Which should be cool.
Lovely work.
Which would be
Yeah.
good. But all right, we're gonna play a game then, and then we'll do fitness at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, people can
No
fuck
one
with
cares
that.
about fitness, Tom. It's the most
I
boring thing
know.
about us. Let's go.
It's the most boring. Well, we'll leave the carrot there that we'll be talking about training for enjoyment or what somebody said in their consultation with me today. Also, I hate the term discovery call. Why is that a thing? Is that a thing still?
Oh, it's fucking
Fuck off. What are you discovering?
nothing.
Unearthing things. It's a fucking
Just say
chat.
it's a
Like
chat, it's a consultation, it's an inquiry.
it's an
Like, let's call it
inquiry
what it
call.
is.
Discovery
A
call.
no obligation discovery call. We'll give you the strategy you need. Fuck off.
Go
Strategy call. That's
away.
another one. Strategy call.
Like strategy call. What's that? I don't know.
That's a red flag. What
Awful.
that is.
100%. I'd be like, switch off.
Yeah.
Like, it was quite funny. The lad I had today, he was just like, this is a bit chill, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. I opened, he was like, yeah, absolutely fine. And then he was like, yeah, I've just saved a blue tip from my cat. So I'm sitting with that next to me. I was like, yeah, that's the first for me.
Yeah,
100%.
I was about to say, I've not had that one before.
I've not had that on a call before. So this is going to be enjoyable. Very interesting. All right. Based off, because I was having fun, obviously, listening to Chatterbix. And anytime that, is it the quiz guy? What's his name?
TV Joe, isn't it?
TV Joe comes on. They're so funny because he's so like flat as a yeah right.
Yeah, yeah.
He's such like zero personality, which makes his personality. And then I enjoyed the last episode of that. So we're playing. Um, what are we playing? I've scrolled
Can't
down,
even
shouldn't
read,
have
can't,
scrolled.
not only can he not read his handwriting, he can't even read text on a screen now. So now we are in trouble.
We're playing. Is it a footballer or is it a fake footballer?
All right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wow.
We've got 10 names, Dan, and you've got to pick whether they're a real footballer or a fake footballer. This is round one.
Okay.
All right, number one. I think these are pretty easy to bet. Um, Number one, Danny Drinkwater.
That is a footballer.
That is a footballer,
He
correct.
used to have Reading. Fuck me, he played for Reading. Jesus
Uh,
Christ. Oh,
He's not a footballer anymore, though. I think he's
He's like a brickie or
he's
something.
retired now. He's a brickie, yeah. So,
Yeah.
very well. Number two, Bongo McNulty. That was Bongo McNulty. The silence is deafening.
I want to say, yeah, I want to. I really don't think it is, but then at the same time, I feel like this could be like so painfully bad of a name that it's got to be true.
So what are you going for?
That is a footballer.
That is not a footballer.
No.
Oh, it was so bad. You were like,
I think it's
oh.
that bad that it's got to be. Like, I was expecting the next one to be something like, like John eats food, and I'd be like, well, obviously not. You know what I mean? I was just waiting for it.
All
Stupid,
right.
yeah.
So you got 1 point. Number three, Stefan Kuntz. That is Stefan Kuntz with a K. Thank you. Sorry if
Uh,
you've got children in the car. I'm apologising for that
um,
name.
I'm sure I would have heard this before if it was a name. I'm sure I would have heard of it because people would have been talking about him, saying that. He'd have been in jokes. He'd have been in all sorts of jokes. I'm going to say not a footballer.
That's a real footballer.
Oh, no.
Stefan Kuntz was a German international. He is now a coach. Oh,
Did
your
not know
knowledge.
that.
One for three. Number four, Ivano Baldini.
Ridiculous,
Ivano,
Tom. Where'd you get
Ivano
these from?
Baldini. Footballer or not a footballer?
Why is this relevant? Oh, I'm going to say he is a footballer.
You're rubbish at this. What is going on? He's not a footballer. But it says just sounds convincingly Italian.
Yeah,
Um,
he does.
all right, number five. Arjan van Cheeswick.
No, not a chance.
Arjan van Cheeswick.
Not a chance.
Correct. He's not a footballer. I don't know. If you came out with Pierre Van Hooijdonk, then you're like, oh, that's a bit
Well, I'd
weird,
know
but
that,
he
wouldn't I?
obviously is. All right, next one. Mm. Creed hump ball.
No,
Creed hump ball.
no, no.
Not a footballer. You are correct. There is an NFL player apparently called Creed Humphrey, so I think that's where they're from.
Mm.
Oh, so you've been good for those two. You got 3 points. 3 points out of six, halfway. Good.
Yeah.
You got four more to come. Number seven, Kevin Lasagna. That is Kevin Lasagna.
I'm gonna say that is a footballer.
That is a footballer.
Mm.
Yes, he is an Italian striker. Who knew?
Lasagna.
If he's
Fuck.
not Italian, then that's mental.
Yeah.
Well done. You got four right. All right, number eight, Norman Conquest. Norman Conquest.
No, not a footballer.
He is a footballer.
No.
He was an Australian goalkeeper.
Of course he
That's
was. Why would I not know that?
Norman Conquest. All right, number nine, Chuba Akpom.
That is a footballer, definitely.
That is a footballer. Yeah, I went for Chuba as well because like Chuba Chubbs. I think it's actually pronounced Chuba
Mm.
Akpom. But yeah,
Akpom, yeah, knew that.
I don't know where he plays now. Somewhere in Europe. Um, and the number one, the last one is Phil Magroin.
No, no,
It is not footballer. Good
that's not a
work,
footballer.
Daniel. Well, you got 6 out of 10. Good
I'm quite
job.
pleased with that, to be fair.
After
After
the
the start
start,
I had, yeah, fucking
this
hell.
was pretty poor.
I was
Pretty
second
poor.
guessing myself a lot of
I
that.
know. You're like, what is happening? Oh, great. I'm
Oh,
gonna keep using Bongo McNulty as
Mongo
the comments.
McNulty, what a player.
I like these. They're
Yeah.
quite fun. Another good thing that ChatGPT is good for is making quizzes, which is quite
I
nice.
wouldn't have thought that. There you go.
No, exactly. And there's another round if anybody wants to play. Maybe we'll do this as a bonus feature. Footballer or pasta dish. Uh, fucking ridiculous. Alfredo Morelos.
Shut up, fuck off. Oh, what has this
Fuck.
podcast become? I apologize. I apologize to all of you that are listening for all these years, going on nearly 10 years now. I apologize that this is what it's become. I
People
didn't
still
think it would
listening.
ever get to this point.
Still
I
listening.
genuinely didn't
Ridiculous.
would get it.
But kind of highlights our point that we just previously made. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but yeah, I mean,
Anyway, So the point that we actually will make about fitness, and it's something that obviously resonated on a podcast, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe, was I think it was one of my clients, Ben. He was like, "Oh, you guys were talking about this on the pods, and it resonated again. It happens a lot in my consultations, but resonated again on one of the consultations. I just did a story about it. Um, that bodybuilding training for like 6, 7 years gets boring and
Yes.
dull and fucking doesn't really do much other than it makes you look good. Cool.
Hmm.
But practicality of being fit, being agile, being athletic, training for something outside of the gym and enjoyment just doesn't really exist. And it was actually Ben was like his brother is a golf coach and he went down the driving range and he was like that's the first time I enjoyed doing some physical activity in so long. And he was like I've realized what I need to train for and he was like I want to go play golf like therefore can we gear stuff on to being fitter, general raise our general conditioning, look a little bit better, but play golf. And I was like, 100%, that's perfect. That's exactly what we do. Um, and then this lad on the call today, I wrote down three things because I was just like, because he said this. He was like, the power of three, right? Everybody doesn't know that is writing something 3 times and like segments better. That's a copyright thing, right? Or like when you're doing speeches. Um, he was like, I miss being. So he used to play football, but he's been bodybuilding for like 7 years, right? So I miss being fast. I miss being athletic. I miss not being gassed when I walk up 2 flights of stairs. And I was like, I wrote those three things down because I was like, yeah, yeah, you're right. When you're doing like normal fucking gassy, like 3 sets of 10s, like 100% people train like hard, but most people don't train that hard when they do aesthetic based training. They're
No.
kind of going through the motions. They're just doing it because they can. Like they just don't really know any better. And they'll go recycle the same 40 fucking exercises across their week, 10 in each fucking session, probably 4 sessions a week, chest and tries, and then back and buys, and fucking leg day, and then like I don't know, arms and abs. And that's their week, right? And they improve, but they don't really improve, but they don't push themselves, but they yeah, it's just like not really good. But he was like, yeah, I miss doing all that shit. Like, I train, but I still get, he's like, I'm getting gassed from walking up like 2, 3 flights of stairs. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I can't move quickly. Like, I want to go play football. I'm 32, 33, and fuck it. I want to go play football with my mates again, and I want to not suck, basically. And I was like, yeah, cool, 100%. We can do that. I've got like one lad who's like 38, 39 now. We're prepping him for a pre-season for the first time in 10 years. And he's like, I'm enjoying it. I'm playing Sunday League football. I might join a Saturday team because I was actually really good last season because we made it so.
Mm.
And he's fitter than he was when he was 28. It's fine. The numbers prove it. He's moving better and he's not injured. So why not? Um, so it's just something that I think is really definitely for the demographic that perhaps we resonate with more, where we're like the life outside of the gym is again way more interesting, way more something to get excited about. I would speak endlessly about that golf day. I can tell you every single shot I took, blah 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 blah. I trained today. I can't barely remember what I fucking did. Like I know exactly what I did and why I'm pushing myself and what's there for my injuries or anything that's going towards my triathlons. But I'm getting this weird stage of like, yeah, but I can push somebody really hard in the gym. We can get exactly what we need out of it. We can make it exciting. But if you have some sort of external focus that you want to get better for, it just makes the gym so much more bearable and so much better. Um,
Yeah, I think with it as well, like the one thing that I find with the bodybuilding style training about it getting boring is that I think that's where as well you hear people say all the time, oh, you got to do the same program to see results, over and over again over the weeks. And I think sometimes when you're training for more for performance, as long as you're doing some sort of horizontal push, whether you do like a bench press or a single arm bench press or dumbbells or barbell, doesn't make a huge bit of difference because you're going to be pushing yourself to strength rep ranges or using powerful movements in some way, shape, or form. So I think as well from a freshness point of view, you can definitely have a bit more of a fresh program every few weeks with more power and strength based than you can with the bodybuilding. Bodybuilders are like, do the same thing for 12 weeks in a row. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense, like to a certain degree. But when you're a little bit more athletic, you've got that argument of going, yeah, but sport isn't the same thing over and over again. It's varied, it's different. We need to be able to react. We need to be able to kind of plan for different things. So I think that's the other element of it that I enjoy is that I feel like I don't need to just do the same plan every week. I can have an A week and a B week, for example. Like straight away, I'm like, oh, this can be a bit different because there's still elements to it where I don't need to do the same thing every single time I come to the gym. Whereas I think with more bodybuilding style, there's just this order and just this same again. Oh, we'll do last week, same again. Like it's just a little bit harder to see that progress. I think. I'd say that's my interpretation of it anyway.
Yeah.
That I think
The
is
A
important.
week, B week thing is something I do quite frequently with people. Yeah. Just
Mm,
vary stuff and then like the loads kind of drop and intensities drop or change
yeah,
every other 2 weeks. So instead of, and then the exercises slight variations of, or I might flip their like A's and B exercise. So their B becomes their
yeah,
A, like the most important thing. Like we did a 2x4, didn't we, for a long time, but it just kept it more interesting. We're like, all right, we're not doing our heavy bench press this week. That's going to be light and powerful, and we're going to do our
yeah,
inverted row or some bullshit instead,
yeah.
which is fun. But it was just super interesting how he just listed off those three things, and I was like, that's pretty much everybody who's come to us who's done like physique based training and
Yeah.
has realized like after, and they're all around the same age, like between the ages of like 28 maybe to 35. This kind of, oh shit, I've been doing this a while, and I think my priorities have changed, and
Yeah.
don't, I've probably got a missus or a husband. Like I look pretty good. Um, I want to be able to go do the things I can enjoy and perhaps enjoy the life that I've got, and
Mhm.
instead of slaving into the monotony. Which unfortunately is, but some people still love it. Don't get me wrong. Some people
I
absolutely
think the
love
people
it.
that do love
But
it, like you say, but they also think that they go through peaks and troughs with it as well. So
yeah,
it's one of them where you go, yeah, but maybe you do with athletic to a certain degree, but I just think that there's a lot more variety with athletic that you can do, so it becomes a little bit more enjoyable. Um, that's what I would say with it. Um, I
yeah,
just I think with the bodybuilding stuff, I just feel like for me, you have to have that purpose and massive desire to want to look better for doing it. Otherwise, I don't think that the motivation is there. Whereas, like you said, I think the motivation to always be stronger, more powerful, fitter in older age is always going to be there. Whereas the desire to look better is not always going to be there. But also, as well, you can look better by training for those three things. Versus, I think if you even train to look better, you're not going to improve necessarily your power and speed and mobility. You can help at older age, obviously, but
yeah.
certainly the performance based stuff, I don't think happens as much.
I think
Um,
people get confused a little bit when I talk about performance stuff. And performance could be something like a simple, obviously, we both work with Clara, right? And she
yeah.
did something last week, week before, that she'd never done before in her life. But it wasn't a goal, it wasn't a fucking thing. But she realized the
Mm,
performance has gone up because she's suddenly, out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but could be in fucking training, all this single leg shit, she can do 4 sets of 8 on pistol squats
yeah.
out of nowhere, and she's like, "Fuck, how much like stronger are my hips and like on my single leg am I ever than I was when I was doing physique?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And what have we been trying to focus on? Marathon times, high rocks times, half
Yeah.
marathons, and we have not fucking focused on that at all. It's just that side effect of being able to do some cool shit. And she's managed. Never mind that she's PR'd on a deadlift, she's PR'd on overhead pressing, she's PR'd on all that kind of strength stuff as well. But
Mm.
we've been focusing on trying to be like a marathon runner and a high rocks athlete. Yeah, it's just super interesting. I think people are just like, oh, you're just going after that time there. I don't want to compete in something. You don't have to. Like, you can still train to do cool things, um, but those external focuses can be there as well. So it's quite interesting. Quite interesting.
For
That
sure.
was an interesting one. I saw like a podcast clip of hybrid training and hybrid athletes. And they were saying they shouldn't be calling them athletes because there's no skill element whatsoever.
But I think throwing a wall ball to a wall is fairly skillful.
I think the argument was like most of it is like work capacity based in terms
Yeah.
of like obviously like if we did a breakdown, it is very much work capacity rather than like baseball or trying to hit a ball in the right direction. Not saying that what we do playing golf is any harder. It's hard.
Yeah.
But
I
he used
think
the analogy of right, if you took um, a bunch of like high rocks guys and then a bunch of skateboarders,
yeah.
like in 5 years, we reckon probably the skateboarders will be probably as good as the high rocks guys, but there's a high chance that those high rocks guys could not do like a 50-50 grind down like a rail pipe.
It's a high chance. Yeah.
It's pretty high chance, but yeah.
Pretty high chance. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just think I just think it's a byproduct of um getting slightly older. I think it's just that you just your priorities change. And I said I think you just go through that age where you go, actually, when you're younger, you do care more about what you look like than anything else.
I can't wait for Dan to get his VBT app and start doing some power based things and just see whether he can do like counter movement jumps. And when his knee's better, I feel like that's going to be the next
I'm
thing.
able
So
to
he
do it
can
now, mate. I can do that now.
train for golf. So he can actually get some pop and extension. That'd be
Yeah,
fun,
mate, I
wouldn't
do. Yeah, I mean, I already hit it far enough, mate. If it's gonna help me putt, if it's gonna help me putt,
it?
that's the only thing I need to
I
worry about in my putting,
mean,
mate. I mean, distance wise, I'm not too fussed at
he's
the
going to be
moment.
humbled when he comes back to England. This will be great.
Well, we'll see, mate. It's not. All I have to do is hit it straight. Fucking hell, that's all I have to worry
That'll give
about.
you as many
Those
dog legs as possible.
those short
So
courses we play on, mate, in the UK. Yeah,
that'd be funny.
we'll
All
see,
right.
won't we?
All right, we're gonna end it there, mate. 'Cause you're a very hungry boy.
I am hungry. My food's
Are you
about
on
to arrive in about
a
3 minutes.
calorie count or not? You just
No,
not
I
eating
just
shit.
for now I don't need to. I literally just stop eating shit virtually right now. So yeah, I've done that. So basically, yeah, just I order in like there's a company here that does like prepped foods. They just like chicken, mashed potato, and veg. Ordering that in instead of again eating shit and then eating loads of takeaways seems to be helping. Shock horror.
Really?
So yeah, who
Wow.
knew? Who knew that was a thing?
Uh,
So yeah, it's just doing a bit of that really. So yeah, that's the main thing I'd say. That's all I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to need to calorie count to be honest, because I think I can eyeball it enough now, and I know enough about protein
yeah.
and not eating chocolate to probably be okay. So that's basically where I'm at.
It's a weird one because I'll be dieting back down again as well. So I had like a couple of months off it. I lost like 4, 5 kilos, like maybe 6, 7 kilos,
Mm.
and then had a little stop because of life. I started again, but even though I eat the same food nearly every fucking day, I like putting it in, and I like getting a streak. Weird, isn't it? Uh, Very
Gamification,
strange.
mate. That's what they love,
Yeah,
a bit of
exactly what it
gamification.
is. All right, any other business?
Not from me. Not from me.
No, not
Have
from
a good
me.
one.
Thanks, sister guys. Catch you next week.
See you later.